What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at Wave 1 of the Mattel Street Sharks, celebrating the 30th anniversary of Street Sharks. So we have these three figures here that look pretty awesome. So we got Ripster, Jab, and Slash. All three of them look pretty awesome. So we get our main one of Ripster, which looks pretty cool. Nice blue for his shark design, looks pretty awesome. Love the box design, so I can see a lot of it. Not a whole lot of packaging, so you see a lot of the figure. We do get this plastic cage design, which is actual thing that you can do and sort of connect them together, make a big cage. So that's pretty awesome. And then we have the figure itself, so you can actually get in here and play with it and feel it, which is pretty cool. And we do get some effects. So if you push on the fin here in the back, so you can press down on it, it'll do some effects, so it makes his mouth open there for chomping, so that's pretty fun. So yeah, there we got Ripster, and I do like on the back, so we have our Street Sharks against the villains there, a little bit of the story about them, and of course our wave, and then about the figures themselves. So there's some information for Ripster if you can read that, and then some of its features there, so play features as well. So Ripster looks pretty cool. Then we have Jab, so another one of the brothers, so looks pretty cool. He's a hammerhead shark this time. Looks pretty awesome with the design. Again, we can push on his fin in the back and it'll make his mouth open and close, so that's pretty cool. Again, pretty similar box there on the back, but again, more of Jab's information and his effects. We get his eyes sort of stretching out there, which is fun. And then we get our one villain of the wave, which is Slash. So it's going to be this guy that has a big drill on his head, of course a piece that will have to attach onto it, but again, back on his fin it has a button. If you do it, it'll spin around. So once we get that actual drill piece on there, that'll be pretty cool. And I believe he is a swordfish, so we'll of course have more information on that, but there's his little information there if you want it. And again, some of his effects there with that drill on his nose. So all three of these look pretty cool, and I'm excited to check these out. So let me get these open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. Well, let's start off with Ripster, whose real name is John Bolton. Now, he's the eldest of the Bolton brothers, and they all got gene slammed in becoming genetically modified human/shark hybrids known as the Street Sharks. John becomes the great white shark known as Ripster, and he's the smartest and leader of the team. So especially compare him like the Ninja Turtles, he would be the Leonardo and Donatello put together. Now, as the Street Sharks, they have super strength, speed, endurance, and durability, as well as they have teeth that can chew through metal and can shark dive, which is swimming through the concrete. So overall, it looks pretty cool, especially bringing these old toys from the 90s back to life. Looks pretty cool. Now, I've never had any experience with the old Street Shark toys. It was a show that I vaguely remember watching, and I know my brother is a huge fan of it, as why we have these figures, but I don't really remember playing with any of the toys, maybe just seeing them on a toy shelf, in the box, playing with them, kind of like you could do with the box they came in. So don't really have a whole lot of experience with the old figures, but I think these look pretty cool and have, that similarity to the old ones. So we have Ripster here, which is the great white shark. So it's pretty nice where we do have more of this whitish or cream color below with this darker blue that's in a metallic paint, or at least a lot of it's got metallic. You can really see it there on the arms. So that looks pretty nice. So we get the big shark nose coming out the front, the two beady little eyes on the side. Of course, his big mouth with all the teeth, nice white teeth in there. Then he's all ripped up, so jacked up and everything, with big muscles everywhere with the long arms that come down. So they have 4 fingers on each hand, and then he goes down and he's still wearing pants. So it's like these black, I assume like leather pants or just some sort of jeans design or whatever, with a belt around the waist and some brown cowboy boots on his feet. So it's pretty fun that they're wearing clothes even though they're sharks, but a lot of anthropomorphic animals do that, so it doesn't really look too weird, but still a pretty nice design and carrying off the old toy design. Now for movements on these, of course, they're going to be hard to do a lot of movements because of the way they're designed. Well, let's start with the arms that do come up to 90, and of course they'll rotate all the way around. We get these single elbow joints that bend to about 90 with the rotation. Now with these being from Mattel, they have a lot of similarities to the Motu Origin, so very similar, but obviously different at the same time. The wrist will twist all the way around and can hinge back and forth. Now for him, we do get a little twist at the waist, but it's part of his effect, so we'll just move on from that. The hips will come up pretty close to 90. It's hard to really get too much, again, much like the Motu Origins figure, so up that far and then out to the side a little there. Of course, it does have like a drop down hip, so it'll drop down. You can push it back up in there. We get the single knee joint that bends back. Some of their knees are sometimes stiff, so just a little bit of bend back and forth there, and it has some rotation in it as well. And then we can go down to the foot that has some movement there with the boot that moves back and forth. And yeah, I doubt it just twists around a little. No actual hinge side to side design, which could cause some issues when these aren't the easiest to stand up, especially because they're so big up top, like with the big shark bodies. They can make them hard to stand up, but not really having too much issues. So at least we don't have that sort of problem. But I feel it could be, if you start to mess around with them too much. But with each shark, they do have their signature move. Now for him, he does have the bite, so at least all the sharks have a thing where you can push on the fin on their back and it'll move. So like his makes his mouth open there so he can chomp, chomp, chomp. And I put my finger in there and it actually kind of hurts because the teeth are spiky, but obviously other than that, it doesn't really hurt. It's a nice soft sort of bite down. So if you give it to a kid, it won't hurt too much. Like I said, just the sharp points of the teeth are the only thing. So that's pretty nice, giving that detail in there so it can shark bite again like the little toys. And then his effect, like I said, is at the waist, is so he has a twist effect. So you can put his arm into like a punch and then sort of twist him there and he'll punch. So you can twist either way. So you can go from the left or the right there. So you just do either one. So you want to have a shark attack, you can punch back and forth with either hand there. Is pretty cool as well. So those are the effects that Ripster comes with, and each shark will have some sort of different ones. Probably get some repeats. I don't know the Street Sharks too well to know if they each have all their own unique or they share some or whatever. And then you sort of saw it with the box, but they each come with a cage. So you have a cage, you know, can sort of trap them down in there. But nice like shark cage design. Of course, it's got some opening where their faces were sticking out. And these cages do open up and pop apart, and then you can connect them together. So as you get more cages, because every single one comes with it, you can sort of attach onto them and build a big cage if you want. So you could cage up a bunch of your enemies or something. So it gives you another fun little accessory to play around with, since they don't come in with any personal accessories, you know, nothing to really go along with them. And then they do have this clip as well. Of course, that was part of how they were hanging on the shelf, for a little peg design, but it's just got that hook, so if you want to do something with that as well. So that's pretty nice overall. Just wanted to show that it does come with that cage, so each one will have it. I'll only show it with Ripster here, so that's a fun thing included as well. But that's it for Ripster. Like I said, unfortunately no accessories or anything. Now he does have like holes in his hands, so he could hold weapons, but he doesn't come with any, or any of them really don't really come with accessories. So unfortunately we don't get much with them, but I like the way they're designed, and I think they're relatively cheap. I don't know the price of these, but I think, you know, for what you get, it's not bad overall, especially how close they are to the original toy. So overall, pretty nice figure for Ripster here. And to go along with Ripster, we have Jab, which is Clint Bolton. He was considered the lazy brother, but has likes in boxing and mechanics. And he was turned into a hammerhead shark when they were gene slammed, and he uses his head as a battering ram. So we get another Bolton brother here, and looks pretty nice. So another member of our Street Sharks, and looks pretty cool as the hammerhead. So we get his eyes up here on the side like a hammerhead shark does. So pretty nice design carrying that off. Of course, he's more in this brown color. Has a little bit of gold to it, especially like in the extra pieces, so like his head piece or eye piece, whatever you call it there, and the arms, it's got more of a shininess to it, so it looks more gold, but it's like a tan goldish color, whatever you want to call it. And then we definitely get more of a lighter tan cream color for the under section here. We get his mouth has of course the weird gums and everything like sharks have. It just seems weirder on his mouth compared to Ripster, since it looked like Ripster had more lips or whatever. His are just, he's like lipless, so it just looked more creepy on him, but still has the ab designs and everything. Of course, gotta be ripped. His fin on the back. And then he's got a pair of blue camo pants, which I always love blue camo, so it's nice to have that. Sort of ripped out holes there around the knees. And then he's got like I would say a military style boots, or just some sort of boot design in black there. It looks pretty nice overall for him. So it's overall pretty nice. And I love all like the little, like I want to say ribbon or like some sort of line design, whatever it is, all over him. That's pretty nice addition of little details in there as well. So movements are going to be the same, pretty much the same for all these. So the shoulders do come up. Now this arm, I should have picked the other arm, is part of his effect, so it doesn't work as well. But it can come up to 90 there. We'll do this one, so up to 90, and can rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint to 90 with the rotation. Wrist will twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. Then he'll twist around at his waist, so he has no effect there, so he easily twists. Then we get his hips that come up close to 90 at least, and out to the side. Again, those like drop down hips you can push back up. The single knee joint that bends back. Now his are really stiff, unfortunately, but should be able to get it to bend back at least that far, so a little bend in there with rotation. And then we also get his foot that rotates around at the ankle, and with the way it's designed, no rocking back and forth or anything, so just the twist around for the ankle there, which still allows him to stand. Like I said, they're never the easiest to stand, but not hard to get him to stand at all there, so that's pretty nice. Now for his moves, of course, we can push on his fin, which will make his mouth open as well, so can open and close there. So again, pretty creepy shark mouth. But I love his design with his arm, that as you twist it there, it'll push like his eyes out, so like comes out at you, so it can like jab out at you. So if you have a character, you can sort of jab it there and knock it back. So that's pretty fun, nice little design. But what I like about this is they put in little details where it's even got like a spine like design there in the eyes, so you get that on the top and bottoms there. So it looks pretty creepy with the way that's designed. But Yeah, there we can sort of jab out his eyes, so that is pretty fun and cool. Love that a lot. So he's always the funner one to play with because I like doing that a lot. So there we've got Jab, and of course we can bring in Ripster. So starting to fill out some of our main Street Shark team there as well. So pretty cool to add those two to the team. And our final figure of the wave is Slash, so we get our one villain of the wave. Now, he was one of Dr. Paradigm's first experiments where he was injected with the DNA of Genghis Khan and Colonel Thomas Blood into a swordfish that became an anthropomorphic fish with a drill bit on its nose, and he tends to speak with a lisp and tends to get his nose stuck in walls. So it looks pretty nice for him, nice fish design. Of course, it's hard to really see more of the fish. You can see with the mouth, he's got the big mouth there. It almost reminds me of like a piranha mouth, but he's a swordfish. We get his eyes there as well, so pretty nice with like the orangish pink design there for the eyeballs. Then we get his different colors, so I love like the purple up top here to get a nice metallic colors with the green everywhere else, so nice green skin and scaling there, so a lot more details went into him to form his body. Then he's got his outfit on, so he has this outfit with the logos. I don't really know if it's part of like the villains or what it is. I didn't look too much into that, and I probably should have to see what the logos were, but I'm sure it's probably for the villains. But a nice like little bone fish there on it, and then of course the arms come down where he's got the 4 fingers. There look like there's a little bit of webbing to it. Don't really see the webbing, but just the way it's designed seems like there's probably webbing. So we get those for both hands, and then down the legs as well. We get more of the fish scaling all the way to the feet with the 3 toes there in the front. So it looks pretty nice, and of course going to the back there we do get the fins on his back and everything as well. And overall just looks pretty nice with the big drill on his nose. So for movement it's going to be pretty much the same. So the shoulder comes up to 90, rotates all the way around. We get the single elbow that bends to 90 with the rotation, and the wrist will twist around, of course hard with the way the scaling is designed on this, twist around and rock back and forth. Then he will twist around at the waist, so just there in the waist. The hips will come up, so it'll come up there like to 90 out to the side. The single knee joint that bends back that far with the rotation in it. And then we get the foot that'll rock back and forth. It's hard to really do the movements, and again with the way it's flared out there, don't really get a whole lot, but it can move back and forth there and should be able to twist a little, so it can twist side to side. So it's hard to really do his movements, especially with the way he's designed, and of course he's got a little stiffer joints and all that. And then of course his nose keeps getting in the way, so it's hard to really fit him in the camera, because if I put him straight on, that's just all on the drill there. But we get his drill, which is his only effect, so he doesn't have any extra. You know, the Street Sharks all had 2 sort of effects or movements that they do. He only comes with one, which is the drill on his nose, and he has the button here on the back that we just push down on this one, and that makes this drill spin. So that is pretty nice. So it just sort of spins there, and of course you push it down, it spins one way, and as you let go, it spins back the other way. So nice drill spin effect on that as well. So it's nice, not the like coolest creature or anything, but it's nice just to get a villain, something for the Street Sharks to fight. And overall, I do think it looks pretty good. Just the drill's just way too big on his nose, I feel, but still looks really nice overall for him. Well, there we got our 3 figures, and you can see the height. Of course, they're all pretty much built very similar, so there's not much difference between the villains and the heroes, so you won't have that much change. But once again, we got more anthropomorphic animals, so I do want to bring in other 90s anthropomorphic animal toys especially. So here we got Throttle from the Biker Mice, one of the Battle Toads. I can't remember if it's like Think Rashers. I never can remember them. And then Donatello from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course, the more Playmates designs one. So you can see just how they all sort of fit there. The Street Sharks are about the same height as like the Super 7 Turtles. Of course, Throttle and the other Biker Mice will be taller and fit pretty decent, at least with this version of the Battletoads. So if you want to try and like build a shelf out with all sorts of different animals, like I said, especially from the 90s, that's what they would look like with some of the others there. So pretty cool figures overall. So I say, especially if you had like Street Shark toys as a kid and you'd want to like relive that memory, these are pretty good ones. Like I said, I don't know how much they compare because I never actually had any of them, but I did, like I said, play with them and see them in toy stores, and they still look relatively like pretty similar. So if you want to tickle that nostalgia bone, you can pick these up and recreate that, because I think they're pretty cool. Like I said, they're not perfect. They have a lot of those similarities, like I said, to the Motu Origins, which aren't perfect either, but they have really nice designs and they carry off the look. Love the effects that they do and all that, and are just pretty cool figures. So I'm excited for the next waves to come out and get more of the Street Shark figures. But let me know what you thought of these 3 down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know what that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.